Drage poslušalke, spoštovani poslušalci, dobrodošli v oddajo Drogerija. V prejšnji oddaji smo govorili bolj nasplošno o mušnici, rdeči mušnici in pa ljudstvih, ki so to gobo uživali skozi tisočletja. V tokratni oddaji, dan pred Božičem, se pogovarjamo z Janom Irvinom, avtorjem skupaj z Andrewjem Rutagitom Astroteologije in šamanizma, knjige, ki je pred letom dni išla in ki ima nekoliko drugačen pogled na zgodovino, ne zgolj šamanizma in pa začetkov religije, ampak tudi začetkov krščanstva. Ker je Božič pred vrati in ker je danes predvsem iz vidika kozmosa izjemno zanimiv dan, se bomo pogovarjali z Janom Irvinom o situaciji na nebu in pa o vseh simbolikah, ki se okrog teh dni dogajajo, okrog Božička, okrog jelke, kaj jelka pomeni. Prosim, uživajte v pogovoru z Janom Irvinom.
We can start with the universe, we can start with the Christmas tree. Where would you start in describing what this time of year, around 25th of December, is all about?
Well, that's a good question. I suppose I will start with the universe. That seems to be the best and sometimes easiest place to start, although from the beginning it may not sound like it. And I wanted to also mention thanks for having me on the radio here. You know, I used to live in that part of the world, and I'm excited to be on the radio over there.
Exactly. You were married with a Serbian woman and lived in Belgrade as well, didn't you?
I lived in Belgrade for a year and a half, and although my Serbo-Croatian has gotten a little bit sloppy in the last 5 or 6 years, I can still hold a minor conversation. I can still find the bathroom and buy a pair of shoes, you know? So let's see, as far as the Christmas tradition, you'll have to forgive me. I've got a little bit of an echo in the system here. It's kind of annoying, so forgive me if I pause every once in a while. But what we have in our solar system is called the precession of the equinoxes, and the precession of the equinoxes is actually a great year, or we have our standard solar year, which is 365 and a quarter days that everybody's familiar with, that lasts from January 1st and through December 31st, and then we celebrate New Year's, and it continues on. Above that, we actually have another year that's called the Great Year, the precession of the equinoxes. It actually lasts 25,800 years, and it's based on the wobble of the Earth rotating backward, as the word precession implies. It rotates backward through the signs of the zodiac, and it actually a lot of the ancient religious symbolism is based on this precession. And what we show in our book and in our video, our book is called Astrotheology and Shamanism, and our video is called the Pharmacratic Inquisition, or Drug-Ruling Inquisition. And what we show in that book is sort of an as-above, so-below philosophy, and we show different layers or different associations, larger and smaller, macro and micro, like the tornado versus the water going down the drain or something like that. And we do our best to show this ancient correlation in religious philosophy that we think is one of the most overlooked things. And it has a lot to do with yin and yang, as above, so below, light and dark, you know, all of these different aspects. And what we found when we were researching this information is that the precession, the worship of the winter solstice, the summer solstice, the equinoxes, is actually what made up the core of our ancient religious traditions. And with the winter solstice, what we have is from, well, let me start with the summer solstice. The summer solstice is typically on June 21st or June 22nd. And from the summer solstice, the sun, from our earthly perspective, appears to fall to the south slightly every day. If we look at the shadows on the walls of our home, if we wake up in the morning, we notice that the light changes. It gets dark earlier during the wintertime than in the summer. The days are shorter. And what the ancients believed is that if the sun continued on this path, that the sun would actually die. And so the winter solstice celebration was actually a celebration of the death and rebirth of the sun in the sky. And, excuse me, get a sip of water here. And so with the December 21st celebration, what happens is when we reach December 21st, the sun doesn't just immediately stop falling to the south. What happens is the sun hovers or stays in the same degree on the horizon for 3 days, from the winter solstice, which is typically December 21st or 22nd, until the early morning hours of December 25th, when the sun is actually born again and begins heading north. And for those of you in the, since we're talking that part of the world, I know that the Orthodox Church is very strong there, and the difference between the Orthodox celebration of Christmas on January 6th has to do with the 12 days of the Epiphany. And so when the Orthodox Church split from the Catholic Church, they designated the Epiphany as 12 days after the solstice. So that's where the separation of the 12 days comes in. So in actuality,